I wrote If Her Love Was Enough. That was my first book. And then I just recently published a novella. I did it like very quickly. Didn't do a lot of promotion for it at all. But called We Could Have Saved You. And it's the second book in my series, and I'm currently working on my third book for the series, which is titled He Is Enough. And that'll be
Exciting.
out in February
That's
or late February, possibly early March.
that's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
What okay. What inspired the Threads of Fate series?
Honestly, just like a lot of personal experiences that I've been through. So I had lost someone that was similar to Gabe. So my story is somewhat similar to Christine's in that regard. Um, with, being with someone, finding like your first love, that you're like, that's it, it's gonna be my true love forever. And then, life comes around and demons come around and outside forces come around and it just didn't work out. Um, I don't want to spoil the ending,
Okay.
but um whatever happened to the guy that I was with is what happened also in the story. Um Um, and then like also just like my experience, like my journey with like binge eating and just like really understanding that just because I don't look like society standards doesn't mean that I am like that I'm not doesn't mean that I'm not worthy or it doesn't mean that I'm not beautiful or that I don't have a place in this world. Um, so it's really like a transformative journey for Christine, just like it was for me. And it's funny because like I was such I'm still an angry person, but I was so angry for so long in my life. And like I really put that in there. Like I made Christine totally flawed purposely just to also show that development. But it's so funny. People are like, I love Christine, but I also hate her. And I'm like, yep, I know. Same.
That's how we connect to our the characters though, is make those flaws and make we hate things about them, but we also love other aspects of them too.
Yeah.
What drew you to writing in the first place?
What's my what? I'm sorry.
What drew you to writing?
Um, okay, so growing up, I had a TV until I was like 8, and then my parents took it away. I had nothing. I had nothing, nothing. So it was really hard for me. Um, I was also an only child, so it's not like I had a sibling to play with. So really I started reading more. I fell in love with reading, which sparked my creativity. I feel like when you read at a young age, like, and of course, like not even just picture books, but like chapter books, you have to create your own imagination.
Yep.
So it was the reading at first, and then like my imagination just started growing wild, and I was like, I could do this too. So I had like little notebooks. And I used to like draw, like write little silly stories. I had my diary. Um, I just always knew I wanted to write. Because in times of like desperation or sadness or even happiness, like getting lost in the different types of books always made me feel comforted.
Yep.
So I was like, I want to do that for other people. And I'm very much like I'm a healer.
Yep.
Like I just want to heal the whole world, especially right now.
Yeah.
We're in a really scary time. And I just was always like, if I could do that through my writing and make people feel seen, then I'd love to do that for them.
I think that's one of the best thing that's happening at the moment. There's a lot of like books and characters that, people are able to see themselves in, not the
Yeah.
typical sort of characters that you normally read when you were growing up as well.
No. Even though I like always loved a good Judy Blume.
Mm,
Judy Blume was my girl, you know? Pride and Prejudice.
yes.
Anybody that was like against society, I was always for.
Yeah. And we need that.
We do. We need people against society. We're in a really,
Mm.
I can go on about that.
What's your process for writing your books? Are you a plotter or you're a pantser? Or a bit of both?
Mm. I'm both. I'm definitely both. So I always will, my mind runs wild. I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. So my mind is always going. I also have anxiety. So that's another reason why. So I will always need to write everything down first on like pen to paper. I have to. So that once I have my organization, I can then go onto my laptop and pace myself in like what I want to write. So I have like the bullets, and I just, once I have those bullets, then I know that I can put things in
Yeah.
as I go. Um, right now it's a little slow because I just had COVID.
Oh no.
And that like knocked me out
Mm.
off for a week. And then I'm back at work, so I don't
Yeah.
have always the time, but I'll get back to it.
Mhm. It's hard
So
when you want your creativity, like you want to use your creativity and everything, like everything else sort of like, no, you got to do this. Everything
yeah,
else.
life is
Like,
lifing. Life is like, haha, JK, you can't just like sit around,
you
not
want to
pay
write your
bills.
book? No, not right
No,
now.
sorry. Maybe one day.
Yeah. How has writing and publishing a book changed the way you see yourself?
Oh my God, it's boosted my confidence beyond. I'm still very shy. So, I'm kind of like a unique case. I'm almost like an ambivert. I love to be outgoing. I love talking to people. I like getting to know people to an extent because I don't always love everybody. I'm one of those people that's like, I hate people. But I'm also like, oh, tell me your life story. I'd love to hear it.
Mhm.
Um, and other times I'm very much like I just want to be home alone in my bed and do me. So, everybody's like, yeah, she wrote a book, and everybody's like, what? And I'm like, it's nothing. It's nothing at all. Nothing. Because to me, I'm also very hard on myself. I'm like, I don't have that many followers as I'd like. And the book didn't, go according to plan as to how many people, have been reading it and so on and so forth. But I wrote a book. So that was not something that was easy for me. And it's not something easy for anybody. And so I think back to that and I'm like, you did that. And then you did it again. And now you're doing it for a third time. Like, this is amazing. You should be proud of yourself. Um, but then of course, like the sale part of it really
Yeah.
freaks me out. Like when I go to book signings, I'm like, hi,
Oh.
come to me. And like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Um, but it's boosted my confidence a lot. It's made me come into myself a lot and like made me realize who I am. And like it was very healing for me. So it healed a lot of wounds that I needed to be healed, especially in regard to that man that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if her love was enough. And so I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't.
Mhm.
But today, in my books, so if her love was enough, and in the third book that I'm writing now, October 2nd was their anniversary.
Wow.
And in real life, that was also our anniversary. And then you chose, like, you're like, the only day that I have available is October 2nd. I was like, this is a sign. Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, that was really healing for me. Things like that, where I can heal the death of someone that I thought I was going to be with forever. Um, and it's on today. It was supposed to be our anniversary. So crazy.
Coincidences. Crazy. Are there any books or authors that inspired you in your writing or like to encourage you to be a writer as well?
Literally everybody that I've read, like everybody. I loved the voice of Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
I really love her voice. I don't know why, I just do. Um, I love tragedy because I think tragedy is real.
Hmm.
And of course, that's not everybody. Everybody doesn't like that. They're like, there is too much tragedy. Like, give me like good things. But I don't think that's realistic. And I've always been, my whole life has been books and writing and authors. And like from the time I can remember, my grandmother was a English high school English teacher. My dad was loved reading. My grandfather was a professor of Old English at one
Oh,
of the universities in New York City. Oh, Old English is hard.
yeah, it
But
is.
oh yeah. And when I was getting my BA in English, we had to learn Old English. Like we literally read Chaucer, like Canterbury Tales in
Yeah.
Old English. I'm like, thank
Help
God I
me.
read it before so I
Help
know
me.
what I'm reading because
Help
it
me.
was oh, help, please
I don't think
stop.
I could read it like a full book in it at all. Like even like reading like William Shakespeare
Yes.
in high
Okay.
school was
I don't
hard.
okay. I like Shakespeare, but like I also don't like him. Like Romeo and Juliet sucks. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just like it's not a love story to me. That is like two horny teenagers that just wanted to get it on and made stupid mistakes because they were teenagers, right? But
Tragedy.
no, every single book that I've read, whether it be from Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, to Colleen Hoover, Verity, or It Ends With Us, even though I know she's super controversial right now, like, I
Everyone's
mean,
controversial at some point.
oh, for sure. That's how you know you're doing something right. But excuse me.
Is it-
Everybody, they've all inspired me. Fantasy, romance, thrillers, classics.
You take bits and pieces from
Yeah.
everything you've read to
Oh
sort of
yeah.
help you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And dramas, I should say too, like playwrights and I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Um, but I have always been like always obsessed with like the tragedies. Like Great Gatsby is my number one. Great
Yeah,
Gatsby ends in tragedy because I just think it's so tragedy is beautiful. That's how you learn to become who you're meant to be.
definitely.
So, yeah,
What advice would you give to a writer working on their first book?
write everything down, write everything that's on your mind. It could be multiple worlds. It could be like 10 different stories in one. Write it, and then you go back and then you reread it. Like you just take your time with it. I took 3 years with my book, and the last year I rushed it and I just spill your heart out. And then let your editors take over. Let the beta readers take over. And then my other piece of advice is what I wish I was told is get on that Bookstagram and start promoting yourself now,
Yeah,
like immediately. Um, because you have to hype your book up, and I wish I knew that before I released it. Um, but just believe in yourself. Imposter syndrome's real, but it's also fake, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like imposter syndrome is, oh boy, my cats hate each other.
Oh, no.
Um, so it's real, but like you don't listen to it because it's fake. It's not real. And you are meant to be on this path. Oh boy.
I think the marketing of books are like the hardest thing and the most time-consuming thing for authors to do.
Like it's so, I hate to say it, but it's so frustrating. Like, and then you have to keep up with the trends and like if you don't, then your numbers immediately go down and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not, you're not just a writer. The marketing is
Yeah, you're
like
everything.
even, yes, everything. And like even today, I was like, what am I gonna create for content? I have no idea. And then I had a hard day at work. So that was shot out the window. So I couldn't do content. Um, but yeah, like you really have to like sit down one day for hours and just create a ton of stuff so
Yeah.
that you can just every single day post something.
Yeah. It's
But it's
annoying.
hard, very hard.
It'll be
It's so frustrating.
fun.
It's overwhelming. It gets very overwhelming, and the demand is so much from everybody, which is appreciated. Like, we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for our readers. But sometimes it's like we are human too. We need breaks. We can't just always give, 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 give.
Yeah.
We love you, but
Calm down a little bit, please.
yeah, please, we love you, but please.
What's your favorite writing snack or drink if you have it?
Mm, coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll always have to have like a full stomach to start. So like I'll always have like a breakfast. And then I will always have my iced coffee, my Stanley cup of water, and 40 ounces. And then I'll always have like a nice, I need like a sweet treat.
Yep.
So like my local cafe does like a cinnamon monkey bread, which is really good. Or there'll be like a chocolate croissant. Um, it has to be like sugar, not like from fruit, but like the bad kind of sugar.
The
Yeah,
soul food to help you get through it.
exactly. Comfort, a nice warm hug.
Yes. Do
But
you
yeah, and then sometimes crunchy things like chips and stuff too.
do you play music while you write? And if you do, what's your
Oh,
favorite music?
always. It depends on my mood. So if I need to write something that's sad, I'm listening to all the songs that are making me cry. Because I get so much from songs too. Like you have like things just pop into your mind. You're like, oh yeah, that's a good point. The way he speaks about like this woman that he loves, like, you know what? I'm gonna bounce off that. I'm gonna write something like that. If I'm like, yay, I'm so excited to be writing today, I'm gonna be listening to like 2090s, 2000s, like uh hip hop or pop music. Or if I need to be motivated and I need to like stay awake and do what I gotta do, I'm listening to EDM,
Yeah,
dance music.
very nice.
Um, and like sometimes the sex scenes or the spicy scenes, or other like love scenes, I'm listening to 90s R&B because that's where it's at.
Yeah, definitely. And my final question is, who has been the biggest supporter of your writing?
My husband, oh my God, my husband, God bless him. I mean, the fact that he even let me, I shouldn't say let me because it's not like where he controls me, but it's a respect thing where he allowed me to be like, you know what? Write this book about your ex-boyfriend. It's okay because you need to heal from it. Like that's your past. I respect it. Um, but then like, you got to put me in somewhere in there. And I said, I promise I would. So that's what book three is about. Me and my hubby. But so he's my biggest supporter. And then like really like my really close friends. So I have two besties that I really they're more than besties. They're like my soul sisters. Um Shout out to Brie and Talia. But they just are always like, what are you writing next? Like they're constantly in contact with me about it. Like, how's the book coming? I know my friend Brie, like, um, she like forced her teachers, her old teachers and her friends to buy the book. And Talia, my friend Talia is actually coming with me to a book signing event that I cannot announce yet, but um she's gonna be traveling with me. She's like, yeah, let's make it I will help you. Let's go. It's gonna be
That's
so much fun. Girls' weekend. I'm like, yay. So they have been, and just like my other group of friends that I grew up with from like high school. They've
that's
been
so
super supportive.
that's so good that like you very close friends and family are like, yes, and also like go girls trip. I'll
Yeah,
help you.
basically. Basically. I will help you, but let's make it a girls' trip, and I'm so down for that. We're gonna get tattoos. Like we're very excited.
Oh, that's really good. Sounds like
Yep.
lots of fun.
Right? I think so. And we love food, so we're gonna go to the best restaurants.
Even better.
Even
Makes a
better.
trip difference, the food.
Totally, totally, totally. But yeah.